What a do YouTube, and again for life, we're back again bringing you some more YGOPro Duel. This time I'm using a dragon based deck. So we'll just get right into it and I'll explain the deck. So it's basically a blue eyes, azure-eyes deck, but I'm actually not playing Maiden. Because you guys know me, I'm going to do something a little bit different. So this is more like a blue eyes turbo deck without the Maiden. So first turn I'm going to go for the hand destruction, pitch a wyvern and a tempest, use wyvern's effect. Normally you'd use wyvern's effect to pitch a red eyes darkest battle, but since I drew it off of the hand destruction, I had to pitch I had to banish a blue eyes instead. And it looks like I'm playing against another dragon player here. So that's cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, and I don't really get anything. Some of the cards are constantly, but what am I trying to say? Send in the Corseska, and then I drew into two Tempest, which is perfect. So now I can Tempest to add the white stone, and then I just set two cards just to kind of scare them because they're super useless. I think one of them's a lance, the other one Pokemon. So I mean, I guess they're pretty good cards, but I didn't really plan on using them. I didn't really use them. But I'm really set up for next turn as long as I survive, which I do, so that's good. So I draw into a Corseska anyway, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate Tempest effect, banish two cards, including one of them being the wyvern, so I can add the blue eyes to my hand, then banish the Tempest for the red eyes. Red eyes activate this effect, special summon the blue eyes, and now I'm just going to attack. I don't know why I actually didn't summon the white stone or the Corseska just to get some extra damage. I did not know that he had doors in his hand. But I'm just gonna go for the synchro for the Azure Dragon. Using the white stone effect gave me another blue eyes, not that I really need it. And I'm just gonna end turn, and now if you don't know, Azure Eyes, whenever he's special summoned, at the time he's special summoned, all dragon type monsters are unaffected, cannot be targeted or destroyed. So as you see here, he tries to dark hold me, but it won't do anything, so he just wasted the dark hold. Now he's gonna do some shenanigans with the what is it, DDR, different dimensional incarnation, and then he tries to attack over me with the Dark Horse, but I'm going to lance that during the damage step, and he's a sad panda because his Dark Horse died. He's playing some sort of weird dragon deck, and I top deck into a trade-in now. Azure Eyes is another effect, especially on the blue eyes during the standby phase, so that's another great thing about this card. I'm going to trade it in, not that I really needed to, but just in case, just for the funsies, and I'm going to attack over his what is it called? Dark Flare, then attack with red eyes, then attack with blue eyes. He had a Gorge in his hand. I'm not sure why he didn't drop it. That's kind of strange. I'm really not sure why he didn't drop the Gorge there, but okay. So now this next duel is going to be against agents, and this was a pretty good duel as well. This guy definitely knew what he was doing. That other player didn't really know what he was doing, but looking at, I'm going first, and my hand isn't the greatest. I'm going to start with a trade-in though, that's not too bad. Then cards against the white stone, and then just draw some cards, and then just give him some draw power, and then set the pitch wyvern, and I'm pretty much good to go next turn. I also play, the main way to the main purpose of the deck is to get out red eyes and azure eyes at the same time, and you need a couple of cards to do this, but the deck can really pump them out very, very consistently with all the draw power that's in the deck. So basically what you need is you're going to need Eclipse Wyvern, you're going to need either Tempest or Collapsipant, you're going to need Blue Eyes and a Tuner in it, and another and a tuner, and if you're using Tempest, you're going to need another dragon. So it's either 4 or 5 cards. As he goes for Crimson Blader, a great play on his part because he saw that I was playing a Blue Eyes deck, so he's going to shut me up from going for the Blue Eyes. But that's cool. I'm just going to Dark Hole him and then set another Wyvern. I can wait a turn since I'm not really threatened by anything that he got on the field right now, since I had the Dark Hole. So he's going to go for Earth, then search what is it, Mars? What is that called? I think it's Mars. No, it's Jupiter. My bad. Jupiter. So now I'm going to space attack from his back row. It's a Book of Moon. Force him to activate it early on the Earth. He won't be taking any damage from an attack because he's going to move his Earth to defense position, but I did force him to waste the Book of Moon. So now I'm going to collapse it, banish the Eclipse Wyvern. So now that activates a Wyvern's effect to add the Red Eyes, banish the Wyvern for Red Eyes. Red Eyes activate his effect to summon the Blue Eyes, and now we're just going to attack him. So I'm going to get rid of the stupid Gachi and the Earth. Now I'm going to synchro for the azure-eyes Silver Dragon, and now I'm going to set a hand destruction just because, I don't know, just to bluff him a little bit. So he draws into the Herald of Orange Light here, and that's going to come into play a little bit later. So he's going to normal summon Jupiter, activate its effect, and then attack over the Collapse of it. And you don't typically see Jupiter in Aiden decks, but it's a really good card because it allows you to control your graveyard. It's kind of like a mini Hyperion, if you will. It doesn't really get to destroy cards, but it does allow you to control your graveyard like Hyperion does. Now here is where I just misplaced super hard. I've moved the Azure Dragon into attack position after drawing into the Lance. And then I don't attack the Jupiter. I don't even know why I did that. I don't know, because I think it's because I checked his graveyard and I realized that if I were to attack into his Jupiter, that would put 4 fairies in his graveyard, and that would allow him to go for Christia. But I guess I forgot that I had the hand destruction set, because my initial plan was to attack him and then hand destruction as soon as he drew. But I guess I forgot the plan midway through and I just didn't even attack. So now he's able to he drew some pretty nice cards off the hand destruction. That's kind of the downside of hand destruction, because whenever you play Aidens, there's a chance they're going to draw into the Honest if they don't already have it. And he's just going to go for Catastrophe here. Great play, because now no matter what I draw into, I'm pretty much dead. I did have a chance if I drew into the Tempest, but since he went for Catastrophe, no chance. Great game. That misplay was just retarded. I mean, I don't even. Wow, it was a misplay. I guess I don't know what I was thinking there. But now we're gonna go up against another dragon deck. I played a lot of dragon decks. I mean, they're really, really clever. They were prevalent the day that I was playing, which was like 2 days ago. So this guy just drops Maxi right away. I was kind of taken aback by that play there. Draws into an Electrify, which is really weird. You don't really see people main deck Electrify. Oh, another funny story is, so this guy, he's playing Chaos Dragon, as you can see. It's his hand, and then you can see with his Lumina Mills. Now once he saw that I was playing Blue Eyes, he got very, very upset for some reason. He said he's complaining about he was sick and tired of seeing this deck, and he was hating how everybody was playing the same thing. And basically here I'm just going for the play. This is the play of the deck. Go for Red Eyes, and then bring back Blue Eyes, then normal summon the Tuner, and then go for Azure-eyes Silver Dragon. But first I'm going to attack, get some damage in. But anyway, yeah, so he starts complaining. He's like, why does everybody play this deck? Everybody's copying everybody, whatever. And I was like, first of all, I don't copy anyone, sir. Get that fact straight. I do. I've never seen anybody play this deck like this. I don't even have the friggin' Blue Eyes Maiden. I'm not playing any traps. Nobody plays a deck like I play a deck. I mean, it's just a fact, because I make it my job to not play it the same way other people play it. Besides the point, and I was like, first of all, then secondly, you have no room to talk. You're playing Chaos Dragons. So here this is how shows you how mad he was. He basically kills himself because I mean, he drew into double He has double Judgment Dragon. He doesn't have enough Light Swings in his graveyard. Plus, even if he were able to get the effects off, none of my dragons would die to Judgment Dragon's effect. He won't be able to get over Azure-eyes Silver Dragon. So yeah, it was pretty much over. But yeah, he was mad, and then I was like, he said he wasn't playing Chaos Dragons, and I was like, how are you not playing Chaos Dragons? You have dragons plus a Light Sworn engine. And I don't know, just some people on YGOPro, I don't even know what they're doing. But anyway, so the next duel going up against Constellar is another meta deck, so that's good. So you can see this deck against how it fares against decks in the meta. So I'm going to Dragon's Shrine, very great card, sets up this deck almost perfectly. I'm going to banish the Red Eyes, obviously, then I'm going to banish another just random dragon. I saw that I had the White Stone in my hand, so I didn't really need to banish the Blue Eyes, and I have to banish a card when I Wyvern Ascent as long as I can. So now I'm going to Tempest, banish both Wyverns, add some more cards, then I'm going to go for the play. Red Eyes and the Blue Eyes, normal summon the Tuner, go for a Azure-eyes Silver Dragon. So as you can see, I've gotten this combo every single game, and these games I had some are all in a row. So every game I've gotten this combo. So you need a couple of cards, but it's not that hard to get because there's so much draw power, and Wyvern searches everything. So now he's going to set 2 and go for duality, see what he can get. He had an honest in his hand, and he was going to go for the bear. That hand destruction really hurt him because he had a nice little setup before I hand destructioned him. So now I'm going to go for the azure-eyes and then chain the MST, hope to hit something good. I hit a mirror force, which is actually bad for me because his other card is really what I wanted to hit, because I'm going to activate red eyes effect, but he fiendish changed me. Now if I hit that card, then I would have been fine. And he was like, you're so lucky you hit my mirror force. I'm like, buddy, mirror force doesn't do anything against my deck because I can go for Azure Dragon and my dragons won't be able to be touched by mirror force. So Fiendish Chain was the right card that you got. Fiendish Chain was the better card to hit, but it doesn't matter since he has the Fiendish Chain up. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have Gores, and I know Constellas don't play Gore, so I'm just gonna go for the OTK, and he loses. So that was a good, that was a pretty quick duel. So now we're gonna go against another heraldic player, I believe is what he was playing. Let's swap this. Yeah, he's playing heraldic beasts. He's playing it slightly different than you would normally see heraldic beasts playing. He's playing some interesting tech cards, which is that's what I like to see. So he set a card, sets 2. So right now I don't know what he's playing. I'm gonna Dragon Shrine, set up my graveyard, and then set the Eclipse Wyvern, and I'm ready. I'm pretty much good for next turn. All I need to do is have a Eclipse Wyvern be attacked over, and I'm good to go. So he's gonna, what is this card? Flip up a Sandcloud Knight, pitch a Heralded Beast Leo with the Sandcloud Knight, and then normal summon, add Amber Conway, then normal summon Amber Conway, and then attack me. That's fine because now I get to activate my Wyvern effect. Now he's gonna go for Evolve All Chain and send another Amber Conway. Okay, sure, sir. Anyway, so I drew into a trade-in, which is perfect because I have the Whitestone, and Whitestone gives me a free card. So he's going to, I'm going to Space Typhoon his back row, and it's a hand destruction, which I definitely did not see that coming. And he's going to send his Leo, get an effect off of that. And I'm going to send 2 cards. Didn't really want to send the Lance, but because he doesn't have any back row, I figured I could send the Lance and then something else. And I actually end up drawing into another Lance anyway, so it works out really, really well for me. So I'm going to banish 2 for Tempest and add cards back with the Wyverns, then go for the play. Red Eyes and the Blue Eyes. Again, I could have normal summoned the Whitestone here for some extra damage, but it's only 300 extra damage. I guess at that time I didn't really care that much for 300 extra damage, but now I'm going to synchro for the Azure-eyes Silver Dragon, and with using the Whitestone's effect is going to allow me to add a Blue Eyes to my hand, and then I'm just going to trade in that Blue Eyes for 2 more cards. Set a card, and I'm pretty much good to go here. So as you can see, there's a lot of draw power in this deck. He's got a lot of resources to use. So he's going to use the, what is it called? It's called the High Medallion Arts. And that's basically like a free XYZ, basically. So he's going to go for the Lightning Clover, and I guess he went for that because he thought he was going to be able to use its effect on my face-up cards, but he forgot that my cards cannot be targeted or destroyed, so Lightning Clover's, Lightning Chidori's effect will not work on my card. So now I'm going to standby phase, special summon the Blue Eyes, then special summon the Whitestone, go for another Azure-eyes Dragon, making my dragons once again immune for 2 turns, basically. My turn and his, 2 card effects, essentially. So now I'm going to attack, and he's going to go for this more like a heraldic negate attack, basically. I didn't really care, so I just set 3 there just to scare him. I believe only one of those cards is actually useless. One of them is a Lance. So he draws into a Mind Control, which is another useless card here. So now he's going to go flip up the Basilisk, special summon the Eel, Chain Dog, special summon that, and then he's going to overlay all 3 for an Illuminite. Now I think the reason why he did this was because he's trying to draw into something that would actually help him. Because seeing his hand, plus seeing the cards on the field, he really couldn't do anything to my 3000 defender, 2800 attacker, and 2500 attacker, all of which cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So there's really no rank 4 that you can go for that's really going to help you in this situation. I mean, I guess he could have gone for Utopia, but that really wouldn't have helped him either, because next turn I would have had 2 Blue Eyes, been able to get 2 Blue Eyes out. So yeah, he was just trying to draw into something, hope the harder cards would guide him, and he comes up with nothing, so he had to scoop out of there. So next duel is going to, I believe it's against a frog deck. Yeah, frogs. This guy's playing Nimble Frogs. So he's going first. He's going to set the nimble, what is it, nimble ray or nimble manta. Now I think looking at his hand, he could have done so much more with his play. He had the title. He could have used title's effect to send like a nimble angler and gone for some shenanigans with that stuff. So I'm not sure why he just set one and ended his turn there. He could have done a lot with his hand. As all I'm doing here is once again going for the play. This time using Collapsipant instead of Tempest. So I'm going to attack over the nimble manta. I'm not really worried about anything because I can't be targeted or destroyed. So now it's going to be his turn, and he draws into a lad here. So what he's going to do is he's going to pitch for swap. He probably should have sent a, and he's going to go for Caius, and he realizes at that point that he can't Caius any of my cards, so that would mean that he would have to Caius his own card, do 1,000 damage to me, but then he would leave his field blank, and he didn't have anything in his hand, so he had to scoop on out of there as well. Now looking at his hand, he could have done so much more with his hand. I don't know, he must be a new player or new to the deck, but he could have done so much more with that card. But again, probably the good thing about Azure-eyes Dragon is it's a 3,000 defender. Like even if you can somehow manage to get over the fact that it's a 3,000 defender that can't be targeted or destroyed. But if you can get over the fact that it can't be targeted or destroyed for a turn, it's still a 3,000 defender, and that's tough to deal with. I mean, no matter what deck you're playing. So here we're going up against Stardust Assault mode, and I've got everything I need to get. And I think I actually misplayed because I meant to send the Tempest instead of the White Stone, but it's okay. So I'm going to set 2, end my turn. I'm still in a good position, kind of. I misplayed because because of that misplay. Now I need to hope that I draw into a tuner, and then I'll be good to go. So here he's going to go for the Vajrayana, the Divinity nonsense, and I'm just going to book a Moon Mat. I don't really want to deal with that shit right now. And all I have to do is hope he doesn't draw into a tuner next turn, and I'll be fine. So hope I can draw into a tuner, and I do. Luckily, top deck into Seska, so now I can go for my nonsense. But he Solemn Warnings my Tempest, so that's kind of a bummer, and that sends my Tempest to the graveyard. I do get the Wyvern's effect still, but I'm forced to just end my turn here. So I'm in some trouble here. He does draw into a tuner, but he also had ducks in his hand. I didn't know that obviously at the time. So he's going to self-summon the ducks, which I was just kind of bummed about. And he's going to go for the the Divinity nonsense, make a Stardust, activate the Assault mode, activate right away. And I honestly did not see that coming. Then he's going to go for Assault Beast, and then go for another Assault mode activate. So I know that card is Assault mode activate. I don't really know why he set that right there. I guess just in case I'm able to attack over his Stardust Assault mode, he can get to use its effect to get the Stardust from the deck, from the graveyard, and then Stardust assault it right away. So here, basically, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to brute force over him while his force starts to negate something, and then just try to push my way and do as much damage as I can. So that's what I'm going to do here. Go for Red Eyes, go for Blue Eyes. Number some of this Corseska. Attack over the Ducks, not worried about the back row because I know it's an Assault mode activate. Do as much damage as I can. Unfortunately, Corseska only has 800. So I'm going to go for the Azure-eyes Silver Dragon. At the end of the day, even if I can't deal with Stardust Assault mode, it's not going to get over me anytime soon. So that's a good thing that I don't have to worry about, is that Stardust Assault mode getting over me. Because I'm a 3,000 defender. So now he's going to Magical Mallet, hope for some good stuff, and he Magical Mallets into a Ducks. Like, so much hacks right there. But he also drew into Terraforming, so he could have easily used Terraforming into Ravine and then pitched his other card and got Ducks anyway. So either way, really good draws. Now he's going to activate Vajrayana's effect, double its attack. You usually don't see that. I actually figured he might go for another Stardust and get 2 Stardust Assault mode, which has really been tough to deal with. But this is actually maybe a better play from his standpoint, since he does have the Assault mode to negate whatever my back row might be. Fortunately for him, I have double Lance, so I can Lance his Vajrayana, preventing him from attacking over my Azure-eyes Silver Dragon. It's pretty much game over because he's going to have to negate this effect from me summoning the Blue Eyes with the Stardust Assault mode, and that's fine with me because now I can just go for Red Eyes and summon another Blue Eyes anyway. So now I'm just going to attack over the Vajrayana and then attack him for game. So that was a really good game. That was actually a tough duel. When he was rolling for the Vajrayana nonsense, I was like, shit, how am I gonna do with 2 Stardust Assault modes? Because I had a plan for 1, but 2, that's a bit much. So let's show you guys the deck here. This is actually the wrong deck. This is Dragons. You want to see this is my Divinity version, but we want Dragons version 2, which is the turbo version. So for Dragons version 2, we've got triple Blue Eyes, 1 Rabby Dragon, just 1 Red Eyes Dark Metal, triple Tempest, triple Collapse Serpent, triple Eclipse Wyvern, triple Seska, triple Whitestone of Legend, triple Trade-In, triple Cards of Confidence, triple Dragon Charm, 1 Dark Hole, triple Space Typhoon, 1 Book of Moon, triple Forbidden Lance, triple Hand Destruction, turbo to the max. And then we've got for the extra deck 1 Trident Dragon, triple Azure-eyes Silver Dragon, 1 Kingdom Blader, 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Colossal Fighter, 1 Dark Ruler Archfiend, 1 Stardust Dragon. We've got 3 Vajrayana. That actually is wrong because this I just saw the Dragoonity deck that I just showed that popped up. This was I literally just changed the cards and put these cards in. So Vajrayana, I just ignored these 3 Vajrayana because you obviously can't make this. Then we've got 1 Dyson Sphere, 1 Heliopolis, and 1 Felder. So that's the deck. So now I'll explain some of the reasons, some of the card choices. So obviously, Blue Eyes is obvious. You need triple Blue Eyes for Blue Eyes deck. As we all know, it's really good. 3,000 attack. Most things don't do any of that, and it's normal monster, so it can't be like you can just change or something like that. So sometimes that really helps it being a non-effective. So this this Rabby Dragon here is just an extra level 8 target for trade-in. We don't really ever bring it to the field much. It's also just some more food for Tempest, but that's why it's there. We've got Red Eyes Dark Metal, obvious Red Eyes, just main probably that you're gonna go for every single time with a quick survivor unless you draw into it. And drawing into it's not that bad in this one. Triple Tempest, there are going to be some times where you use Tempest's effect with Seska or itself to add a dragon that you need for your combo. Other than the main reason you're going to be using it is to banish Eclipse Wyvern plus another dragon, which is special summon itself, finally special summon the Red Eyes for free. Same with Collapse Serpent. Freaking touchscreen computer. Collapse Serpent has the same thing going on. It's a lot easier because you only need to banish 1 light monster to special summon it. So just banish 1 Eclipse Wyvern, then you're going to be able to add your Red Eyes and then go for your items from there. So with Collapse Serpent, you need 1 less card because you don't need that other dragon in the graveyard like you would with Tempest. Eclipse Wyvern, pretty self-explanatory. Have it get destroyed, then banish your Red Eyes or banish Blue Eyes if you want to. That allows you to add cards to your hand that you need. So if you've got like a trade-in and a Wyvern, then you can get Blue Eyes to your hand, trade it in, draw 2. It's just a really good card. For Seska, just a level 1 tuner. Also a Wind for Tempest, so that serves 2 purposes there. It also helps with Cards of Confidence. Whitestone Legend, it adds the Blue Eyes to your hand. It also is a level 1 tuner, and whenever it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a Blue Eye. So that works with Synchro Summons, Hand Destruction, it works with Cards of Confidence, pretty much anything. So it's a really good card in that aspect. Trade in, you've got 4 targets, Blue Eyes plus Rabby Dragon, but it's almost like you have maybe 7 targets because Whitestone automatically gets you a Blue Eyes, maybe even say 10 targets because of course Wyvern also gets you a Blue Eye. So trading is actually rarely dead in this deck. Cards of Confidence is in a similar fashion. It's a dead. Sometimes it's a dead a little bit more because you only have 6 targets. Obviously the 6 dragon tuners, but it still helps out a lot. And another time though, I might bring it down to 2 because sometimes I find that since when I only have one Dragon type tuner in my hand, I really don't want to cards of consonants or send it to the graveyard because I need it to make my play, which is the red eyes plus azure-eyes play. So sometimes cards of consonants actually doesn't really help. It's really dead a lot of the time, since you really don't want to get rid of your tuners if you only have one. Dragon Shrine, an amazing card. Basically, you send one Dragon type normal monster, and if you do that, you send another card, another Dragon type monster from your deck. Graveyard. This really sets up your graveyard. You can send a blue eyes and a Wyvern, send a blue eyes and a Tempest, depending on your hand, and you're pretty much good to go. It's really easy to set up this dark hole. Triple space Typhoon, because since there's no heavy storm, you want to have as much back row destruction as you can without overwhelming the deck. So I think Triple Space Typhoon is good for that, as well as Triple Duels is good for that as well. Then Lance has multiple purposes. Lance is a really good card, so it's not just for that. So that's why I don't feel like it's overdoing it. Then you got Purple Moon, just a nice chainable card. And then hand destruction works really well in this deck, and it's not even minus, especially if you pitch Whitestone with hand destruction. It ends up being completely neutral for you, so that's really good. Then the extra deck is just extra deck. You can make Trident Dragon with a level 1 tuner and azure-eyes Silver Dragon. So if ever you need to go for the game or you get some extra attacks, Trident Dragon is really good. Azure-eyes Silver Dragon self-explanatory, as well as all these rank 8s. These Raj Manas, as I said before, they're not supposed to be in here. I forgot to take them out. Don't really know what to put in, except for maybe a Catastrophe. There is a chance we can make that. Plus maybe some more 4s. There's also a chance we can make that. But Dyson Sphere is here because for those long duels, which rarely happens, either you just beat them down with 3k beaters, or they do something to get around you, and it's hard to play out of that. Once they get over your red eyes and blue eyes combo, it's really hard to play out of that, because that's your play, that's your only play pretty much. So that's one of the weaknesses of the deck. It's pretty much just super linear. But Dyson Sphere is just in case you end up having 2 Azures. If you just overlay onto Dyson Sphere, and Dyson Sphere just never dies, basically. And then Heliopolis. Felgrand, just for those weird moments where you need to just get over something. Felgrand is an amazing card. It's just so good. You can overlay in 2 blue eyes to make this card and just stop it. Pretty much anything. And Heliopolis is just there when you just need to just get a card off the field. Weaknesses of the deck. As a first weakness, I said it's super linear. You pretty much have one player and that's it. The second weakness is it just gets raped by evil swans. So I mean, you would definitely need a card like you need to side in XYZ Encore. This card is going to be your best friend if you're playing this deck. And you may even want a main deck, probably maybe 2, like if you take out the cards of consonants and a space typhoon or something like that. Main deck 2 of these and then side another one, plus maybe side in a flying sea. Because this deck, it's criminal in a couple of states the way what Evil Swan does to this deck. So that's gonna do it for this, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here. Deuces.